Hello there and welcome back to Build with the Boys. We now have an incredibly risky game in Fanhomes Optimus Prime issues 1 and 2. Now this has been sent to us by a friend of the channel, Jamie. Very much appreciated. So why is this a risky game? Well, the reason why this is a risky game is because this was one I hadn't intended on building. And I've got a horrible feeling, just looking at the parts, I'm going to like this so much I'm going to end up subscribing to it. So what we're going to do is we'll take a look at what comes with this. And it's a tricky... I'm looking at it going, that looks pretty nice. And I can resist everything except temptation, unfortunately. So who knows, by the end of this one, I might be subbing to this. You do get... So with the first pack, you get parts 1 and 2. You get batteries for Optimus Prime. We're building his head and his chest, I believe, in this one. We get the generic now, but very nice. All the bits and pieces about Optimus Prime in the flyer that comes with it, which will ultimately be the poster. And there is the poster. Now, the difference with this poster and other Fanhome and back in the day Eaglemoss posters is this one doesn't appear to what it certainly... It might be. I don't think it is. I don't think this is to scale. Normally you get a scale poster. I don't think this is. This looks massive. If that was to scale, that would be insane, but I don't think it is. But this is it's a big old model, this one. It really is. There is a premium base available for this one as well. So if you do choose the premium option, you can get a base in the case. It is 2 feet tall, so he's about the same size as Iron Man over here. Now, I've always said, when I saw the 2 Optimus Primes that were done, there was one done by Agora, which is running at the moment, and there was this one by Fanhome. Now, originally, when I heard that Agora were doing the Gen 1 version of Optimus Prime, and I'd already seen this one when it trialed in France, I thought I'd rather have the Gen 1, because I'm of that era. I am very much Gen X. I am an 80s child. And I thought, well, that's my Optimus Prime. Whereas this one is based on the Michael Bay movies, and I thought I'd rather have Gen 1. Then having seen them both, I prefer this one. I've got to be honest. Now I've not built the other one, but I just think this one looks more intricate. The Agora one has the advantage that it is humongous. I mean, the Agora Optimus Prime is absolutely huge. It is vast. It just doesn't look as detailed. Whereas this one looks like it's got so much going on that it looks more intricate, it looks more involved, to be honest with you. I might be completely wrong. But from what I've seen of the Agora one so far, it looks, dare I say it, a little bit too much like a toy. And I suppose, I mean, that's not their fault. That's what Gen 1 Optimus Prime looks like, but that is what it is. So what we're going to do is crack these open. We're going to build both of them, 1 and 2. We're going to have a look at what we've left with at the end, and hopefully this doesn't result in me signing up for 2 years to build it, but who knows, it might. So let's get this open. Let's get into it. So here's everything you get with issue 1, including button cell batteries. We get our screwdriver as standard, and we have all these parts. Now this is heavy. Now we are building Optimus Prime's head in this one. I have no idea what that is. That looks like it could possibly be a speaker. Don't know. We're building Optimus Prime's head in this one. Now, I know as well as you know, based on the 2 maquettes that have been built so far, that is both Iron Man and RoboCop. This is to lure you in. This is, come on, give us your money. And you always get a sexy piece to begin with. You're not going to touch his head until, I would say, the end of the build. But it's nice to have. It gives you an idea of what you are going to be building. So we have the lure pieces. It's always the same. But it's nice to have something to kind of, get you excited for the build, I think. So that's the benefit of the lure pieces, I think. We're going to put this one together. It does look incredibly intricate. I mean, it really does. There's a lot of bits here. We got our first electrics as well. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see exactly how this all goes together. So let's get cracking. What's interesting is the first thing we're doing is electrics. I've never known that on a part work. Honestly, I've never once known to start with electrics, but that's exactly what we're doing, which is unique in itself. So this has already got me intrigued. Okay, so we're going that way around, and we could take in our G here. I like that as well. These are printed rather than having the tab stickers on the side of them. That's quite nice. So G is going to slot into taking this part here. So that way around, and it's going to pop into this connector on the end. There you go. So make sure that pushes in nice and tight. Put that one there, and then take in this part here, which is the neck joint cable. This one here, which is marked A, is going to slot into the furthest one along. So that's going to go into there. There we go. So that's our first two pieces done. Then we are moving on to more electrics. Okay, so with this piece here, we need what is ultimately the face piece, and this, which are the eyes. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn this one over, and the eyes are going to slot in there like so. And we're going to hold this in place with a single AP screw. So let me get that ready. Okay, so taking our single AP screw, I'm going to pop that in there. Now this is plastic to plastic, so there's no reason to use 3-in-1 oil at this stage. So that's that one held in there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take our board here. This is going to be LEDs. So you see these two white parts there and there. Those are the LEDs. Those are what are going to make the lights light up. So those are going to go in that way around. With your wires at the back. You want your black wire to the left, your red wire to the right. And then we're going to hold this one in place with two of the BP screws. So we get those ready and get that screwed in. Okay, so holding that in place, take our BP screws. Oop. That's not playing ball. Let's line that up properly. There we go. Again, don't over tighten this because you don't want to crack this board. That would be disastrous. So you want this, there you go. Just it's bitten. Do not over tighten. You over tighten, you crack your board. And you don't want to do that. That'd be terrible. Here's for a second BP screw. Okay, so that's it. So you can see here the blue eyes are now in place. Nice and simple. Now taking the electrics we'd already built over here, I'm going to take this one, and in the remaining slot that's in the center, that's going to pop in just there. And again with these, make sure you push them all the way down. Otherwise, they're not going to light up. And that's the one I get the most. I get people asking all the time, my electrics don't work. I'm like, you check your connectors, and that's typically what you need to do. Right, so we're going to start assembling the head now, well, the face. So we need a couple more pieces. I'll grab those, and then we'll get this done. Okay, so this is the other piece that we need. This is piece IR. And you can see they've got this ball joint here. This is the neck joint. So that's what that was, that piece that I was a little confused about. So what we're going to do is all this should come together. So you put in the neck joint. There we go, that way around. So the neck joint's going to go in there like so. Where's the switch going? Our switch is going to go into the back. Just there. So that's where our switch is going to go. And that will sit nicely down there like so. The top is going to flip over there like that. Make sure that's the right way around. Is that the right way around? Yes, it is. No, it isn't. Now it is. So that's where we're going to go that way around. And then this piece of the face. I see. Put the face on first. Right. So the face will sit in that lug there that you can see. There we go. Right, so do your face first. I'll make this easier. And then this is going to attach to the face. So you have lugs at the top there that these pins are going to sit into. There we go. There we go, there we go, there we go. Bring it all together. So that's how this side is now looking. Let's get our neck joint in properly. So that's how we're now looking. Now we're going to take the opposing piece, which is piece 1S. And that is going to sit like so. Okay, well that's interesting because if you've done it like that, you can't touch the face yet. That seems a strange way. The instructions seem very odd to do that because you wouldn't be able to do that. So that's a bit weird. It's a lot weird, in fact. Right, let's loosen this back up. Yeah, you wouldn't be able to touch this side of the face if we did like that. So let's loosen that. See if we can do it this way. There we go. Let's try it like this. So attach this piece in. Yeah, this seems very odd. The way they've kind of explained to do it in the instructions don't really ring true. Because you wouldn't be able to touch the other bits if we did it that way. There we go. Just go like that first. Then put this one. No. Then put the face. There we go. Put the face and then push down here. There we go. So there we have what we need. Let's get this nice and firm. There's a gap there. I don't want that. And that's what we're now looking like. Okay. Happy with that? Yeah. So push the face in, push this all together. Now we're going to use a single DP screw to hold the headpiece in. So we're going to put one DP screw in the top. So we're going to hold this there like so. And then we're going to hold this together with AP screws. So that's that one there. And now taking two of our AP screws, I'm going to put these into the side. And then this hub will be, I mean, it's already nice and firm as it is, so these screws really will bring this together. So you see two screw holes here and here. We're going to put two APs in here to hold this together. Again, don't over tighten these because they're going into plastic at the moment and you don't want to, you just thread the plastic. You don't want to do that. Right, one more of these. Okay, so our second AP screw is going to go in there. There we go. Nice and tight, nice and secure. Happy with that? Okay. Next thing we have is two little bolts that are going to attach to the chin, I guess, is what we're going to call that. And these are little. Now I'm hoping these will fit in nicely and we're not going to have to super glue these. I don't think we will. But this piece here and this piece here. So these are going to, oh no, this is a little CP screw. Okay, so for the lower, right. This is unusual. So one of these should have a lug. Nope. Right, so we're going to pop this one here. Flip it over. That one's going to go on there like so. It's going to sit into the groove. And then we're going to hold it with a CP screw. That's interesting. I see. Okay. Yep, then we're going to hold this all together with CP screws. So let me get the CP screw loaded up and we will screw that together. Okay, so the smallest hole goes on this side. Now we're going to hold that in place, flip that over, and we're going to hold that in with a single CP screw. So that's that one in. Now this one, that's in, will fit over the screw head with a little pressure. Now you can see there is, if I can show you this, a flattened part. Now you can see that's going to go that way round. Now apparently with pressure this will fit. And they are completely right. There we go. So we have our two bolts in. Lovely stuff. Right, I'm going to put this to the side for now and we're going to start working on two other pieces. So these are the next two pieces we need. And what we're going to do is going to take this detail here. You can see there are three holes, so it's going to line up with those. I'm going to pop that one in like that. We flip this one over, and we're going to hold this in with a single AP screw that's going to go in there. There we go. So that one's complete. We're going to put this onto the back of the head now. So bring the head over, I'm going to attach this. So you need this piece here that we just built, and we need this piece here. This is piece 1 to the back of the head detailing. So this piece is going to fit over like so, I believe. Yeah. So that's where that's going to go. On there like so, not push to fit. Then we have this section here, which will very cleverly cover up that switch. I quite like that. So this piece will fit over the switch. Let's get this the right way round. Like so. So this will become the switch. Quite like that. There you go. So now, that switch is very cleverly disguised. Now I am interested because that's got three switches. So it'll be interesting to see what those do. It really will. So that's the switch in place. That's very clever. I like that. That's described the switch lovely. That's all we're going to do for this one for now. We're going to move on to the cheeks, I suppose you call them, of Optimus Prime. Let's bring those over. Let's get working. Here are the pieces we'll need next. Now this is metal. These aren't, and neither are these. But this is all push to fit. Push to fit always makes me nervous because it's either great or it's terrible. There's rarely in between. So hopefully this is great. Yep, that's going nowhere. That's good. Okay, now the ones we use on here do have, if I can show you, a little L inside them, so that way you know you're using the right ones. So we're going to apply these. So you've got two different types here. The one with the flatter of the two, the one that's got the little dots on it, that is going to go into here. So we're going to pop this one in. There we go. You can see these wonderful details on here, these tiny little details, but my God, they look good. And then we're going to take this one here. Now this has got a fat lug and a thin lug, so it's only going to go in one way. So if you're having problems getting in, it's because you've got lugs the wrong way around, like I have. So you flip them round, and it should, in theory, go in first time this time, and it does. And those aren't going anywhere. Those are firm. We do the exact same thing with the other side. Okay, so right hand side works pretty much the same as we just did, with some minor differences. So we're going to on pushes to there. We're going to take on RR. Now I want it to match my, yeah. I was fat and thin lug. I just lucked out on the first one. Right, so yeah, so if it won't fit in, it's because you've got your lugs all around. Right, there you go, that one's in. And then we're going to, again, fat and thin lugs, so it's only going to go, it's going to go the way they want it to go. There's no getting this wrong because the lugs won't fit. There we go. So that's those two pieces done. Now we're going to attach these to our head. So these are push to fit. Now, it does make a genius to figure out which one goes where. So there you go. You can see the lugs are all there. Now they should, I hope, line up and push to fit. Not without a fight though. There we go. Nope. Man, that's curious. So that's not simple. Let's try again. There we go. So once you get the four lugs lined up, that does go in quite nicely. Just make sure you get your lugs lined to begin with, and then you're good. Don't, be like me and just try and go in blind. There we go. So he's come along quite nice there, really, isn't he? Next thing we're going to do is we're going to apply the batteries. So we're going to put the batteries into his head. I'll get those open, and then we're going to put the battery cover on. Okay, so we're going to install our batteries. Now, with button style batteries, you got the button and you've got the flat back. Flat back always goes against the spring. Now, I'm saying that, and there's probably some of you rolling your eyes. Now, the reason I say that is because the message I get more than anything is, mine ain't working. And so you got your batteries in the right way around, and everyone says yes. And then shortly after that, I get a sheepish email saying, you're right, I put my batteries in the wrong way around. So we all do it, but it's like the easiest to check the obvious things, right? And think, okay, have I got that wrong? So typically, the batteries are normally the wrong way around, or there's a loose connection. That's typically what it is. So double check that if you ever have any problems. So we're going to put our battery cap over here, and we're going to hold this in place with 2 AP screws. So let's get our last 2 AP screws. We're nearly done with this one. Let's pop that in. like so. Put the first one in here. Yeah, I get that a lot. I get it on the book notes as well. And so you go, batches in the right way around. Yes. And then I get an email about 10 minutes later. Yeah, you were right. Batches the wrong way around. Or they just haven't turned it on. Like, we turn the switch to on. I'm like, do you think I'm stupid? I'm not saying stupid. I'm just saying these are the most obvious fixes. And then I get a, yeah, you're right. I didn't have a switch to on. It's like, well, there you go. I mean, it's like, it's not me taking the piss. It's just those are the most obvious fixes. So there is our battery cap in place. Now all that's left to do is attach the, I suppose the skull cap is what this is. And this is a nice big old metal piece. That's lovely. Look at that. The paint job on that was gorgeous. So this is going to, I apologise if you can hear the American Wolf in London howl in the background, but that's my every Saturday morning. Can you hear that? It's unbelievable, right? So that fits in place like so. And there we are. That is Optimus Prime's head complete. Now all we need to do is switch this on and hopefully it works. So use no switch. Haha! There we go. That's looking really nice. Wow, that's looking really, really nice. Look at that bloody dog. Look at that. That's lovely stuff. I apologise for the Hound of the Baskervilles outside, but it's just the way it is at the moment, I'm afraid. I like that. I really like that. Look at those eyes. This looks nice. This looks really detailed, really nice. I'm very, very impressed. I wish I wasn't, because it's I can already see where I'm going with this. But it's lovely. Let's move on to part 2. Here's everything you get in stage 2. We're making the right-hand side of the chest in this one. So this should be interesting. We're going to start with this piece here. Then we have this piece here, and we are going to be using AM screws, which are these. So let's get this done. Okay, so taking our piece here, we are going to set up that way, and we're going to insert this piece like so. So that's going to go in there. I'm going to hold this in place with 2 of the AM screws. So now we are going into metal, but I'm going to try this to see whether or not we need to 3 in it. Yep, I'm 3M in the second one because that is bloody tight. Yep. We're using the 3-in-1 oil technique for this because those are going to fight every step of the way. You see the random screws I've got in there? Those are the ones that just drop off and then they live in the oil forever. That's what happens to them because I'm not fishing them out. Right. So that's the difference. Now this one goes in really easy compared to the other one that was fighting me tooth and nail. So the 3-in-1 oil just makes that so much bloody easier. So any screw that ends with an M, let's take this one out and 3-in-1 it. Any screw that ends with an M is a metal screw. Any screw that ends with a P is a plastic screw. So if you go into plastic, you don't need to use 3-in-1. If you go into metal, use some 3-in-1 because it just makes your life so much bloody easier. It really does. You're not going to risk threading a head. You're not going to risk having screw heads that aren't set flush. Just you just touch the tip of it into the oil, and honestly, the transition is so much bloody easier. Just makes life simpler. Yeah, because you don't want to round the head on one of these things. It's the worst thing that can bloody happen, because it never happens right at the start. It happens just at the end. There we go. So that one's done. That one's in. 3-in-1 oil, people. Trust me, it's the future. It just makes your life so much easier when you're building these models. It really does. Right, let's move on. Okay, so taking this very large chest piece here, we're going to take what we've just made, and there is as you can see, we're going to create a hinge. And the way around we want this to go is like so, and the hinge is going to attach in there. So this should be a pressure fit, I think. Okay, to secure it, press the piece slowly onto the spot until you hear a click. Christ, that looks like something that could break easy, but let's do as they say. I don't like that. I don't want to push down on that at all. Oh, that just seems dodgy, man. Yeah, I'm worried about breaking that. Nope, I didn't. But you just gotta go for it, I suppose, on that one. I was worried that was gonna snap. Yeah, that was a little unnervy. But that's what you then look like. So from the front, that's what we've got going on. The paint job on this is lovely. It really is. Yeah, that was a little unnervy. Okay, let's move on to the next piece. Okay, so taking this window section here and our pane of glass, what we're going to do is quite simply, that's going to fit over there. It's only going to go in one way, so you don't need to be too alarmed about that. And again, we're going to hold this in with AM screws. Now, be very cautious with your 3-in-1 oil here, because you don't want to get any oil on that glass, because it will make a very horrible effect. So again, you just touch the tip of the oil in the screw, go straight in the screw hole, and there we go. Just makes life easier. Again, don't over tighten this, because what you don't want to do is crack the plastic it's going into, because then you've got problems. So that one's in. Now one more 3M screw, and we are done with this piece. That's it. Don't over tighten. I can go another revolution, I think. I don't want to crack it. It's holding a plastic thing, and I can see that plastic will be brittle. If you over tighten this, it'll crack. I really don't want to do that. There we go. Right. So that's that held. Now I would imagine we're doing something very similar. No, we're not. Talking nonsense. We're going to put that to the side for now. We've got 3 more pieces to build. These are the upper headlamp lenses. Now I already can hear the cries of, why don't they light up? Because it would be overkill. It would be gross. You can kill a model with light. Everybody wants to put more and more light on it, and it's like, well, you don't want a lamp, you know. So it would look mental if you had too much light coming off it. So let's put these 3 in. There we go. So that's those 3 done. That's nice and easy, push to fit. And we are pushing to fit again, and we're doing that on top of the piece we just built. So it's going to go that way around, and 3 of these are going to sit in here. So we're going to put 1 in there, 1 in there, and 1 in there. I'd imagine I'm going to screw these in. So that's how you now look in there. Looking lovely. I guess we're about to screw these in. Could be wrong. I am wrong. They don't screw in. That's surprising. Oh, they might. I don't think we're touching this, so it might screw in at a later stage. But sorry, it doesn't say to screw them in. That's surprising. Oh, surprising. Okay, put that to one side. Now we have this piece here. Let's move that out of the way. We have another piece. Let me grab that one out. This piece here. And a windscreen wiper as well. That's cute. And we need EP screws for this one. So these are tiny screws. So my advice would be, I'll try with their screwdriver, but my advice would be is to get yourself a Wera PH00, which is it's got a very thin head to it, which would, if you're going to be using a lot of these screws, trust me, that thing will save you a lot of time and effort. I've got one over here. So this is a Wera PH00. Very thin, small head. It's ideal for things like this. But I'll try and do it with their screwdriver. So I'm trying to do it with, I know what you have. So we'll see if that helps. So taking this piece here, I'm going to turn it around like so. And then this piece is going to go that way around. And it's going to sit against there like that. Now these are, I can already see this won't be easy. But let's have a look. So you don't have to use oil on these ones because it is... This seems like a really fat-headed screwdriver for this job. Oh, maybe it will. Maybe it will. Maybe it will. Yeah, maybe it will. So this is going to go behind. Like so. Nope, I'm going to have to use my PH00. I can't do it with this. Let me get that ready. Yeah, that's really not easy. That's not the best design of that piece. But we use the thinner head to get these in. I'm going to line this up. There we go. There we are. That's not easy. That's not great. That wasn't a great design. That's very, very fiddly. Get yourself one of these. I swear to God, if you're building this, get yourself one of these, because if you have more of those, you definitely have more of those. You're going to have to put one on the other side. Yeah, get yourself one of these. Right, so taking it over our piece here, this is going to push to fit. Again, there's a bizarre amount of push to fit in this model. And that's the problem with push to fit. I reckon these are going to screw in, though, because they've got screw holes underneath. I just don't think you're doing it yet. Okay, so that one's going to go in there. I would imagine, looking at the underside of this, those will definitely screw in. That, I'm not so sure about. But these, I think, almost definitely are going to screw in at some point. Now we have one last piece in the windscreen wiper, and we're done with this this pack. So our windscreen wiper is going to fit just at the front here, and again, it's push to fit. So we're going to push to fit this windscreen wiper just in there. And there we have it. So this doesn't fit to the chest panel at this point, but yeah, I'm still going to do it. So I would imagine where this is going to go is there. That's almost definitely where that's going to go. So that's your chest. So let's zoom out. So there's our chest. Now you have to use your imagination here, but that's kind of where we're going to be. There's going to be a lot more to this. But that's looking nice. That's looking really nice. I'm very, very impressed. And it does give me somewhat of a problem now because I want it. Let's have a chat. That's that one done. And I really like that. I think that's lovely. I particularly like the switch, the one that covers up. I like, there you go. Our guy here. He is going to talk. There's got to be more this does. Right? It just has to. Because that neck plugged into something. I don't know what that neck's going to do, what it's going to power. It's going to power something. It's got to. Got to. So it'll be interesting to see. It's nice. It's really nice. This is really nice. I think this is lovely. And I want it. That's the problem I've got. So thank you, Jamie, for sending this to us. It's very much appreciated. But at the same time, God damn it, Jamie. Now I want one. So I'm really tempted. Oh, man. See? I'm really tempted to get it. That's the problem. Because I genuinely really like this. I think this is lovely. And I think this is going to look absolutely stunning. When this is done, I think this is going to be a hell of a model. I really do. And this has clearly got a lot more to do in it than Iron Man. So I ragged on Iron Man quite a lot. Iron Man is lovely. I'm very happy with Iron Man. But the build of Iron Man was kind of boring. If I'm honest with you, it was kind of dull. There was too many issues where it was just done. It was two pieces. I'm sure you're going to have that with this. But based on everything that's going on with him, there's got to be more to it. There just has to be. And I think this is really nice. I genuinely do. I think this is a great one. You can get this now. You can go to Fanhome. You can subscribe, and yours will be there fairly quick. It's a lovely model. It's really nice. I'll put the link down below if you want to go and subscribe to this. Am I going to subscribe to it? I'd like to. I'd like to, but at the moment, with the amount of models I've got going on, I don't know if I can. But having now sort of got my hands on it, yeah. I mean, it's a nice one. Transformers was never my big thing. Transformers was clearly something I enjoyed. I went to see all the movies, including having my heart broken when I was a kid by watching Transformers the animated movie and watching Optimus Prime die. Yeah, we grew up rough in the 80s, man. But it was, I mean, so Transformers was very much part of the lexicon when I was growing up, and it was everywhere. I owned Transformers, I owned Optimus Prime. I think if you were a child of the 80s, it was mandatory that at some point you got Optimus Prime. Everyone had him, but no one had the fists. We all lost the fists because they were just shot behind the sofa. They've gone forever. I had him, I had Starscream, I had a bunch of others. Masters of the Universe was my big thing. So that's, it's kind of like the Elvis and Beatles, right? You can like them both, but you're always going to like one more than the other. You're either going to be an Elvis man or a Beatles man. It's just the way it is. And it's kind of like with Transformers Master Universe. You can definitely like them both, but you're going to fall into one camp or the other. And I would come with Master Universe, so I wasn't, chomping at the bit to get on this one. And also the fact that some of the movies, this wasn't Gen 1, which is why I genuinely thought I'd like the Agora Gen 1, but I don't. I actually prefer the Fanhome one. The Gen 1 Agora is lovely, it is. I just prefer this one. It's a matter of preference. I'm not saying one's right or one's wrong, but as a matter of preference, I think for a build, I prefer this one. I just do. I think this one is more detailed, and I like it. I like it. I'd recommend it. I would. I mean, based on what I've just built, and again, they do give you big sexy parts to begin with. So we've got our chest there, and we've got our head. They do give you big sexy parts to begin with, and then all of a sudden you're building a foot. But you've got to build all of it. So don't be like, oh, I'm only building a foot. Well, you have to. You have to build all of it. At some point, you've got to build the fingers. At some point, you just do. So it's the way it is. Then eventually it all comes together, and you've got a very lovely model at the end of it. I like this. I like it a lot. And if I could, I probably would go and subscribe to it now. But I have to be sensible with how much I've got going on at any given point. But this is definitely one that I would like to get. It's definitely on the definitely maybe list, because it's nice. I just think it's really nice, particularly that head. I think the detail, the small detailing in this, with the kind of the Transformers lettering on the side of it, I think is lovely. I can't wait to see this thing built and all singing, all dancing, doing all the things it does. It's going to be a good one. It really is. Thank you again, Jamie, for sending this through to us. If you haven't yet, please remember to like and subscribe to the channel. It helps our channel massively, and we just like having you along. We've got a load of builds coming up because we've amassed quite the backlog. So we have got Book Nooks coming up. We've also got the end of Ecto 1. We have got Disney Doll's House coming up very soon. We also have Infinity Gauntlet and a few other bits and pieces. Along with our weekly catch-up and all the other shenanigans we get up to on the channel. So if you haven't yet, please remember to like and subscribe. In a world where you can be anything at all, just be nice. And thank you, Jamie, once again. We will catch you very, very soon for more from Building the Boys. Thanks for stopping by.